Hello, and welcome aboard Whale Pod to another episode of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm your Captain Whale, and we've been ignoring castle prisoners here at the Agnes Castle for quite a long time. Let's finally cross it off our to-do list.
I think we need to discuss this.
So we've heard there's some people locked up, but nothing about the whys or hows. Being put into prison for violations of military discipline is not unheard of, I suppose. People were saying they're pretty tough as well. Hey Gondor, do you know anything? Yeah, some Agnian soldiers apparently. The way I hear, Tyon's basically got it. Put in the brig for some discipline thinger. Meant to be right clever and rowdy too, that's all I've heard. Supposedly it's all under security's purview, but I don't know much more. Is there any point in locking them up under the current circumstances? Won't know unless we ask security. Would be nice to get some extra hands to help around the castle and city. Are the 3 fiends accepted? I only saw 2 fiends down there. I think we might have put an end to the 3rd fiend. That being the warden.
I'm all refreshed and ready to take on the world.
Hey, could we talk to you for a minute? Sure thing. What's up? We heard you've got Agnian soldiers locked up here, so... Oh, Sparks, really? Even you heard? God, give me a break. Wow, sounds like that struck a nerve. Oh, you're joking now, but just wait till you've heard the story. I'm at the end of my tether, I tell you. I mean, look, I agree with Seeker's thinking, and I want to work together with the city, I really do. But the people they lock up for violating regulations have done some pretty heinous stuff in the past. Take this Toma guy. Old pals of a chick called Zara, and then add this hothead Eudor into the mix. Ah, Toma, what are you getting up to ever since you scammed me on the Hu Tao rerun banner? Now the 3 of them have some kinda understanding. Cahoots o'clock, I'm telling you, thick as thieves. What are you suggesting? And do you think when they're let out, they'll get up to some hijinks? Hijinks, huh? Well, if it was just hijinks, I think we could consider ourselves lucky. To be honest with you, I'm kinda shocked they haven't already been sent for the chop already. If we don't ever let them out, then maybe it'd have been better to just do that and be done with it. Getting the chop? You mean execution? What you're saying is you think what they did is enough to deserve that? And what does Seeker have to say? I'm leaving their treatment to your discretion. Discretion, my arse. Tell me what to do, you utter shitbird. Phew, sorry, had to get it off my chest. So anyway, you want to see them? If they're really so irredeemable, aren't they gonna take a pop at us? I mean, they're still in a cell, right? Not exactly made of sticks, so come along, I'll introduce you. Oh yeah, we know all about them not exactly being made of sticks. Oh, we were trapped inside those not exactly sticks to begin with. Ah, what's this? Tea-tie, toe-tighter. I smell the smell of a strong fighter. So that's the big baddie you were talking about? That's right, he's the main offender. You come to break us out, or cut our throats. I'll tell you though, it pays to be on our good side. I'm still making my mind up, actually. Don't go forcing my hand, alright? And you're the lot that liberated the castle, aren't you? Come on, let's have a square go, you and us. Beg your pardon? If we win, you cut us loose, and before you go misinterpreting that, I don't mean we'll go on a killing spree. Zara's my best and oldest friend, you see, and Eudor, well, I met him here on the inside, but I like the cut of his jib. So I think we'd like to taste the air outside one day again, all 3 of us together. Well, if we win, that is. And what if we win? Your choice, I suppose. Keep us jailed till we die, and make us follow you around. Whatever you decide, we'll go along with. That doesn't make it any easier. Wait, aren't they hardened criminals? I don't feel qualified to pass judgment on them, just like that. It's fine, it's fine. You're more qualified than me, that's for sparking certain. There we go. Sounds like a deal to me. Come on, let's get to the fisticuffs already. What should we do? Ah, right. Right there, Ferris. You pipe down and play nice until these good people figure out what to do. Sounds good to me. Just don't keep me waiting too long.
Good to add more names.
We need to solve Suna's worry here.
I see some relations have changed.
Hey, Toma. So what kind of crime did you commit to be locked up here exactly? What's it to you? Will I get to fight you lot if I talk? That depends on what you tell us. Well, I guess it's worth a punt. I got locked up for the crime of mass murder. A clear violation of military discipline. Simple enough reason, right? Thinking back on it now, I guess I just wasn't a soldier the consul could control. But that's beside the point. You gonna fight me or not? Out with it. 3 fiends, Toma? Toma's situation? Let's go ahead and get the other situations while we're at it. Eudor? What did you do to get yourself in here? Well, a whole bunch of things, let's say. I used to work in the inspection branch. One day, I erased a certain piece of intel, but I don't think I did anything wrong. Now I haven't had a bad time here thanks to Toma and Zera, but you know that. Now I feel like battering you lot and moseying on out of here if you'd be so inclined. The 3 fiends, Eudor, we will not set his active quest for this one yet. We have 1 of 4 for his situation.
Good to add more names.
Then we have Zera. I hear Toma talking earlier. I assume it was with you guys, right? Yeah, but staying on topic, what got you branded as a fiend and locked up in here? Well, my great crime was blowing up a container the salvage corps was gonna salvage. Horrible thing to do, right? Or wasting away supplies they worked so hard to get. That's a new one to me. Why go and blow up valuable supplies? I mean, who cares about that, really? You guys have come here to fight us 3 fiends, right? I'm ready to fight whenever you are, but don't keep me waiting too long. We will not set as an active quest. We have 1 of 4 for Zera's situation.
Good to add more names.
Suna's for the different quest. Let's go find the other 2 pieces of intel for old Toma. I guess we'll find other info on the way as we go, but we're gonna start focusing first on getting Mr. Toma back to taking care of the Kamisato estate as soon as possible. So I heard Eudor might be getting out soon. The very man who brought disorder to his colony by destroying enemy intel. I know I wouldn't be letting him out anytime soon. Eudor's situation, 2 of 4. All we have left here is 1 for Toma, the rest must be all in the Cadenzia region. Internal Affairs Officer. Toma was jailed for violating military discipline during a battle with Keves. Everything I ever heard about him suggested he was a superb Levnis pilot, albeit one who had a bit of an issue following orders. Suna's worrying about whether she should free the guy or not, but personally I'm against it. Toma situation 2 of 3. Got a little fast and loose with the Levnis action there. Remembered the right map this time. Let's see, Cadenzia. Plenty of information down in the castle area. First order of business, there appear to be 2 in this area here. Grover. Eudor, you say? Well, he used to be an intel. He was my subordinate. One day the guy destroyed some intel showing that Kevis was making camp somewhere. If our forces had seen that intel, they could have ambushed that camp and won a crucial victory. But without that intel, we had no chance. There were a few casualties, but I'm still at a loss as to why he didn't share the intel. Eudor, situation 3 of 4?
I see some relations have changed.
Over here by these containers. Agnes Soldier, he's just one that will take us back to the castle. Thought it was going to be someone important there or something new to say. Logistics guy. I heard the girl that blew up that supply container might be getting released from prison. I'm hesitant, to be honest. I know it said she had Agnes's best interests in mind when she did it, but I find that hard to believe. Is there a situation 2 of 4? Let's see. Prison camp freight gate, to double back on that. A bit of infotel over there. This is either going to be 3 of 4 for Zera or 4 of 4 for Eudor. We'd like to ask you about Zera's story. 3 of 4 for Zera, it seems. Sure. I mean, Zera's already locked up now. I'm not sure what difference it'll make. But, why not, I guess? You guys must have your reasons for asking, I suppose. Zera used to be a part of the Salvage Corps. She achieved much as a soldier, and was well regarded for her nous in battle. But one day, there was an incident on a mission to procure an airdrop supply container. I'm sure you probably know already, but for some reason, she decided to blow up that container. Everyone was furious about the waste of supplies. It wasn't even like there were Kavesi trying to steal them or anything. The consul at the time therefore claimed she was plotting an insurrection and imprisoned her. Is there a situation?
I see some relations have changed.
Wonder what consul that was. We only ever fought, well, we only ever fought Anne at Agnes Castle. M was at Agnes Castle until, Mio, in quotation marks, because it was absolutely not Mio, was called home. And then X showed up to try and put a little bit of a damper on any of our Ouroboros power plans and failed to do so. So I'm wondering, did Agnes Castle used to be under the command of Consul, say, I don't know, Consul A? The one unaccounted for Mobius at the end of the story, who I think is going to play a big role in the DLC story? Maybe. Or I don't know, maybe it was M who occasionally did some actual Mobius stuff in between deliberately trying to sabotage them from time to time. Hey, Darnie. I hear that Eudor is the reason we lost the chance to take out a base in the war with Kevis. I don't know why you did it. I tried asking him and he flat out refused to give a reason why. I don't know, maybe he thought the commander was cute or something. I'll talk to Darnie later. Lost numbers milling about here still. Down here at the edge of the dock is going to be Zera. This final piece of information. Zera, yeah, I know her. She was a hot topic for a little while here. She was in the squad that mainly salvages supplies and was a snuffing-capable soldier herself. And when supply containers are being targeted by enemy scavenging teams, soldiers like her are invaluable. The Salvage Corps and Supply Team may be known as logistical teams, but that doesn't mean they lack capable fighters. They're the ones who take the necessary decisive actions, such as blowing up a container, if the enemy's about to steal it. Even I always have to stay on my toes. You never know when something might happen. I wonder how a lost number got that information, Dana. I don't know, maybe they were held down in the prison camp before we ran riot down there. And maybe N moved them to the castle prison after that. Inspection analyst. Toma's a man who cared deeply for his allies. In that battle of Keves, his squad was on the verge of being completely massacred. But the Nutty Mudder broke position to take rear guard and charge right at them, letting his squad retreat in the process. Toma's situation 3-3. The reason why I'm bringing up a potential Consul A at the Agnes Castle is because we do know that Chris, Consul C, was at the castle, in addition to N, as well as D and J, as well as O and P, before we put an end to them. Rightfully so, after they brutally murdered Best Girl. So I wonder if Agnes Castle ever had a similar consul. I don't know, maybe their consul was Irma, because we know Consul I, Irma, had at least some dealings with the Keves Castle as well. Maybe Irma was a go-between both castles. We're just going to discuss all of them in order and end with Toma. Eudora's situation.
Where should I start?
So the story goes that Eudora destroyed Keves intel, and therefore caused damage to Agnes's position. The mystery here is why he did destroy intel that had crucial info on enemy camps' whereabouts. What he did went far beyond a violation of military discipline. He could have easily been sentenced to death for it. Tell me about it. Soldiers are always getting killed by enemies they don't see coming. That kind of intel is worth its weight in gold. Which brings up an important question. Why is Eudora still alive? I'm guessing it's because he was thrown in there by M, Tyon. I think we might need to ask the guy himself about what the true nature of that intel was. That'd be quicker for sure. Yeah, let's go and ask him. Is there a situation?
Could you all come round for a second?
So, from everything we heard about Zara, you'd almost think she grew up feral or something. It's hard to consider blowing up supplies as anything but a military discipline violation. That much is certain. True, but something really doesn't add up here. Yeah, like, if we're planning an insurrection, I sure wouldn't start it by blowing up some random supplies. You're right, Uni. What will be the point in that? I guess the key here is how to find out what her reason was for blowing up that container. I just thought of something. Like, isn't it a little odd that the consul didn't sentence her to death right away? Once again, the running theory is that this was M. I don't know, maybe A was involved somehow. N would have been off with their heads for sure. And I do think X or I would have also been the same way. Good point. Usually in this situation, the offender would get executed to send a warning to the rest of the colony. Perhaps the consul saw some sort of value in keeping Zara alive. If we can present a concrete theory as to why she got locked up and not executed, that could help our case out a lot. And what do we do when we find out after she's freed that she's just an utter maniac? Fight her, I guess? Figured that. Guess we should go see her then. And, long last, the Kamisato clan's wayward housekeeper, who's dyed his hair from blonde to red for this particular cameo appearance. Yes, I know they're not the same Toma, they're not even spelled the same way.
Where should I start?
If we're to believe what Toma has told us, then it would seem he got locked up for the crime of mass murder. But we also heard that he took rear guard in order to let his comrades retreat. And while he was fighting to save his comrades, he killed a large number of Kevesi soldiers. It's not like he did his case any favors, but he was just fighting his enemy, right? That's what we're all taught to do. Certainly, that would just be the normal thing to do when you're in the Flame Clock's clutches. Excuse my speculation, but he didn't extract the flame from the enemies he defeated, did he? If he was blinded by rage like he said, then I think he was more preoccupied with crushing those Kevesi than anything else. You do raise a good point. You can't exactly extract someone's flame while in Alevnis. Looking at it from the consul's point of view, that was wasting of good flame would have been cause enough to lock him up. This'll sound grim, but hear me out. I think the consul could have solved this more easily if he just snuffed him on the spot. Good point. But you have to consider that Toma's deeds would have won him a favor with the troops, despite irking the consul. Executing him for valiantly saving the lives of his fellow soldiers would have backfired massively. He was a right pain in the consul's ass, that's for certain. It would go some way to explaining why it would have been far easier for the consul to lock him up under false pretenses. So then, perhaps it'll be possible not only to convince him not to fight us, but also to free him from prison? Don't mind fighting him either way, but we'd be saved a whole lot of fuss if you could talk him out of it somehow. There's only one way to find out. Let's head to Toma's cell and see what we can do. Now it is back to the two we can't discuss. Ionios' strongest, once again, is against super bosses, so it'll be a while
Good to go?
before we get to that. Not so sure how much of a while episode-wise, but once we're done with the side quests, this game is going to go on a hiatus for a while I do things like, grind out the materials for all the remaining level 10 gems and that kind of fun stuff. We'll start with Eudor. Oh, up for a fight then? Not quite. We have some things we'd like to ask first. You managed to get your hands on Kevis intel, and yet you didn't share it with Agnes. Why? Getting straight to the point again, I see. Surely squashing intel about Kevis wouldn't have been in your best interests. Alright, sit back, relax, and let Eudor tell you a story. Not like I've got much better to do anyway. After I'd investigated the Kevesi intel that fell into my hands, I discovered that it was fake intel created by our consul. What? Seems like they weren't too happy about us getting more and more powerful, and were trying to crush us. I don't know what was going through their head. I don't even begin to make sense. Maybe they just thought that screwing us was an easy way to fill the Kevesi's flame clock. We're the ones who made the consul so powerful, and that's how they decide to treat us. Boils my blood, it does. That's why I destroyed that intel, so my friends could withdraw from that pointless battle and limit the casualties. Did you talk about this to anyone? Absolutely. No way I'd have talked to my friends about it. Otherwise the consul would have done him in. Thankfully, that mutter can't hurt us anymore. Talking about it now has lifted a weight off my shoulders, it has. And I've got zero regrets as well. Got to meet Toma and Zera here after all. And their class. At least now you don't have to bear the burden on your own anymore. She's right. You're not living under that consul's eye anymore, so cheer up, mate. If I ever do get out of here, I guess it might be worth talking about what's on my mind a bit more often. Not yet. You finally ready now? Kept me waiting long enough? Before we fight, there's something I want to confirm with you. Specifically, the reason you blew up that container. What's it to you? Not like I can make those supplies magically come back? True, but to just blow up a container for no reason, you'd have to be out of your mind, which you don't seem to be. Funny you mentioned that, because I was out of my mind when I blew up that container. Or perhaps you noticed that container had been booby-trapped? You don't have to be out of your mind to sacrifice supplies in the name of protecting your comrades. Although I wouldn't call it a flawless plan, I can't see why it would be egregious enough to violate military discipline. If one knew that a container did have something lethal in it, then blowing it up would be perfectly justifiable. Lethal? What do you mean lethal? It could have been something explosive or poisonous. You didn't know what was inside, but you had a feeling, didn't you? It's odd to think airdrop supplies could have something like that in them. Unless the consul had something to do with it. Indeed. It's not impossible to see why the consul could have thought up something fiendish like that. And since blowing up seemingly good supplies is a big no-no, they gave the consul the perfect pretext to lock you up. Cool theory. But last time I checked, theories don't count as hard evidence. Indeed, all we've got is reasoning that paints you in a favorable light. The simplest, most straightforward reason would be that you were out of your mind at the time. I'll give you this, though. I had fun listening to your theory. Your reasoning skills aren't too bad either. So here's what really happened. It's true I blew up the container. You serious? And like you said, Four Eyes, that container was indeed booby-trapped. You knew something was up well before the incident, didn't you? Yeah, right after Toma had been locked up. We're long-term friends, and I was livid about his arrest. I just couldn't let it slide. As I was looking into it, I began to pick up that the consul was hiding something in a container. So when he went along with the salvage corps to procure it, I blew it up hoping to use it against the Mutter himself. Yikes, okay, I take it all back. Maybe she is loopy. The consul must have caught on that I was sniffing around. That's why he rigged the container. So definitely not Irma. Could have been O. Would have been happy dying alongside him to protect my mates, but it didn't go to plan. So I ended up here in the slammer instead. I was there, I had a hunch that my, or rather our enemy wasn't Keves. Though I guess I don't need to call it a hunch anymore. I've long wondered what people like you guys were like. Guys who fought with consuls. Oh no, this is a I want to know what real strength looks like type of scenario, isn't it? For the love of sparks. Wait, oh wait, that was Uni. Oh no, this is a I want to know what real strength looks like type of scenario, isn't it? For the love of sparks. Not yet. So, you feeling up to a fight, are you? Before that, there's something we want to make sure of. Is it true that you murdered multiple Kevesi soldiers? Did you miss it the first time around? Course I did. You used Elevenus during the incident, didn't you? Well now, someone's done their research, but yeah, I killed a snuff ton of the enemy in Elevenus. Was there a pang on said Levenus? Sorry, just quoting one of Uni's favorite euphemisms. And you stayed behind last to fight them off, so you could save your fleeing comrades, if I'm not mistaken. Well, the spark did you anyway. Yeah, that's also right. Now about the enemy. I don't know what colony they came from, but they sure didn't know snuff about fighting honorably. Seeing those dishonorable mutters slaughter my friends made me go right off the deep end. I had to get any of my guys still breathing out of there, but I couldn't just let them get away with it. I was too drained to wield my blade, so I got into Elevenus and made him regret ever being alive. That's all there is to it. Right, we now understand what happened. Not like me telling you all this is gonna make a lick of difference, though, is it? We'll tell Suna. We'll tell her sooner rather than later. We're heading off to tell Suna from internal security about your story. We won't be long. There you are. Oh, where have you guys been? Finally decided to do battle with those wretches? Before it gets to that, we'd like to find out if you know anything more about what Toma did. You mean the mass murder? Well, as far as I remember, he indiscriminately killed a load of Kevesi without extracting their life. That led the consul at the time to arrest him and lock him up in here. I'm afraid to tell you that your crafty consul bent the truth around what really happened. Huh? What do you mean? Let us explain. What the? So he was fighting to save his comrades? But that wasn't in the report? It's like we said. The consul bent the truth to make it seem like he was fighting for fighting's sake, not for his comrades' lives. Well, now that I think about it, there were some guys in my term who managed to survive that battle. Although Toma could have definitely tried to extract some flame from the enemy, it's not a stretch to say that he had his reasons to do what he did. That settles it then. I've got no reason to doubt you guys. You're the ones who freed us from the clock, after all. I've also got no reason to doubt that the Toma I knew would have done everything for his comrades and for Agnes. Oh. Well, thank you. Been a while since I had a proper fresh air. Tastes better than I remember. I can bet you should be thankful to Noah and the others for that. You bet I'm thankful to them. Not to mention to you too, of course. Just don't get yourself in any more trouble, okay? I'm busy enough as it is. I wouldn't do that when it's this nice outside. Don't you worry about yourself one bit. I'm still one capable soldier, believe me. Doesn't sound like you've learned anything to me. Well, now the lesson's a moot point, because the flame clock is broken. Experience 0, gold 3680, 3 soul points, and nothing else.
Some relations have changed.
Huh? You need more from me now? We'll tell Suna now. We'll go explain your story to Suna from security. Just hold on for a bit. If you're gonna fight anyone, be quick about it. I'd rather not have my life in danger any longer than necessary. We just got done talking to Zara for her side of the story. We think we might just have a case for freeing her from prison. Wait, seriously? We can let her go? Considering she faced up to a great enemy all by herself, we think you'll see why she deserves to be free. Great as in size? You're saying she can go toe-to-toe with Elevenus or something? We don't mean that kind of great. But like, she loves blowing stuff up, right? What if she decides to blow up the castle? It doesn't bear thinking about. Look, she had her reasons why she did what she did. Let us explain. That's a whole lot to take in. I won't lie, but I mean, Seeker trusts you guys. And in either case, Seeker was the one who left it up to my discretion. And according to my discretion, if you guys think she isn't guilty, then she sure ain't guilty to me. Thank you so much. Man, it's crazy to think I'm actually out of prison now. Now, seeing as I was kind enough to free you, promise me you won't go around blowing stuff up. You got that? Of course, don't worry about it. I don't just blow stuff up for no reason, you know. Oh, really now? But seriously, don't go doing anything too outrageous, okay? I know. I owe you guys big time after all. And we have... 3 Fiends Zara completed, 0 experience, 3680 gold, 3 soul points. Same rewards as 3 Fiends Toma. Yadur. Wait, do you still need to ask me questions? Oh, we're just here to tell you we're gonna go talk to Suna. Sooner rather than later. We'll go explain your story to Suna from security. We won't be long. What's up? Do you need something? We heard Yador's full story. Full story? What's this about? Don't mind Grover, he's here on other business. He fades into the background pretty easily. Hey, I just have a soothing presence. Anyway, here's what happened. This is really hard to credit. He was going up against the consul. What does this all mean? That he didn't do anything wrong after all? What he did was undoubtedly a violation of military discipline. So then, if what they're telling us is true, then Yador knowingly went against military discipline in order to save Agnian lives, and then went to jail without ever telling us why he really did what he did. Well then, we've got no reason to keep him locked up in here, right? Ah. He's a capable guy, I'll give you that. Or should I say, him being too capable was what got him into this mess. I'm just as adverse to trouble as the next person, but what do you think? Okay, I think we can let Yador go. I'll take responsibility for anything that happens. Well, that'll certainly make my life easier, I know that much. But if he tries anything funny, I'll throw him back in prison, then throw away the key. I'm sure it won't have to come to that. Oh, just you wait, Sen. It's gonna come to that. Hopefully not. Whoa, didn't think you'd be here too. Heh. Oh, don't get your knickers in a twist. I won't do nothing bad, I promise. Especially not after you guys got me out of the slammer. All we did was listen to your story, nothing special about that. That is quest complete. 3 fiends you adore, 0 experience, 3680 gold, 3 soul points, same as before.
I see some relations have changed.
We did not get a quest complete for the main one, so we're gonna activate the 3 fiends again. Now that feels a little bit better on my throat. Had a little bit of a gunk in there that was getting right where I needed to be talking from and was making me sound a little scraggly. Don't know if the mic was going to pick that up, but definitely feels a lot clearer. And definitely feels like I'm talking a lot clearer now. Say, you really think it's the right choice letting them walk? I don't foresee any particular problems. They'll be working for the good of the castle now, right? Yeah, I really wanted to fight you guys, but if it means I get to leave this place, then I guess I'll settle. Same here. Anything's better than rotting in jail. Right, can't say I'm really digging the jail vibe too much. Say, are you really sure? I don't want this coming back on me, okay? If they start going nuts, we'll handle it. Relax. Seeker did leave it to your discretion. If anything, the responsibility is his. Hey, that's a good point. They were in my custody, but Seeker's the one in charge. Well, in that case, why don't we make them his bodyguards or something? That's not a bad plan at all. They would perform well as a personal security detail for someone of his position. Right, you heard him. Get out of here and don't darken my doorstep again. That's a weight off my chest. And straight on to Seek, isn't it? Alright, friends, time to get to work. Now that is the 3 fiends completed. Suna's back to her usual spot now, it would seem. Information over here. Peaky business, 1 of 1. We'll have to make sure that that's a quest or not. If it is a quest, we're not going to be doing it this episode. We're about done here. Just gonna check up here to see if there's more intel to gather. And nothing, so I really do hope that is a quest.
Smarts. We could do with some food.
It is indeed. So, Whale Pod, this is where we're going to leave this episode of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. If you did like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and sub the channel if you have not done so already. I do appreciate every single one of them, and they do help out so much. Now, with that said and done, to those of you who are subscribed watching this, I give you a big thank you. Once again, for those of you not subscribed, there's always room for one more in the Whale Pod. With that, I hope y'all are having a fantastic day, Whale Pod, subscribed or not. Remember to stay cool, stay classy, and most importantly, stay healthy. But until next time, this is Captain Whale, signing off.